WhiteRa has not been performing too well in the NASL, and that's kind of a shame. He didn't do too well last season either. I think he went 1-6. 1-6? No, 1-7. Excuse. No, 1-6. Okay, he went 1-6. So just based on statistics, I am going to give it to Puzzle this time around.
Yeah, I picked Puzzle as well. Puzzle is a pretty scary PvT player, but he's also phenomenal in PvP as well. I mean, he's got a 66.67%, so exactly 2 out of every 3 games he wins.
2 to 1. That's not bad, man.
Yeah, so he should win a best of 3 statistically, but that's not that much data. That said, Puzzle is sitting atop of the division at 5-1 with the most points. He was tied with Marl before this, but now Marl did take a loss to Sheth earlier. And all of a sudden, we see the division still is capable. Anything can happen. If Puzzle loses this and WhiteRa takes the game, or takes 2 games, then WhiteRa is back into the mix. And Puzzle just kind of stumbles a little bit, opening up more possibilities. So let's introduce our players, starting from the players on the top right, Andre.
It is Combat Easy, but no, that's not Combat Easy. That is, in fact, Puzzle. He is the blue Protoss, and we're ready to rock and roll on Tal'Darim Altar with some 4-gate action.
And top left, we have WhiteRa, just like you were saying. Tal'Darim Altar, a map that's really tough for anything non-warp gate related.
That's the problem. I cannot do my no warp gate style on this map.
The sick build that you showed Nanyuan. Which, of course, guys, the Sunday Showdown between Nanyuan and Genius is after this series, if you haven't gotten enough PvP from WhiteRa vs. Puzzle.
Honestly, playing against Nanyuan and just having him here opened up a huge realm of just insight to the game. It's really been so helpful for him to be here, and I hope you guys catch his game, or his games rather, against Genius, because he's literally one of the greatest minds, I think, in the foreign scene currently in existence.
Yeah, and you know, I like that he's really honest with himself too, but because you know, Nanyuan was like, yeah, I just, like, he says that together him and Sase put really good builds together, but he doesn't really take credit unless he knows it's him. And like in the past, he's like, yeah, like if this is a really good build, I know me and Sase have been working on it, or like, you know, Sun the Starkill guy. So he's not only a great mind, but he's also a great sharer and willing to oblige information if you just ask. So really great guy. For now, talking about information sharing, you know, WhiteRa has a probe that knows everything of what Puzzle's doing. Puzzle does not know where his opponent is just yet. He's going to scout. Unfortunately, he's going to be in the right direction. Puzzle's still playing really defensive, though. 2 gates, implying 3 stalkers, and this is a very safe thing to do. You can transition easily into 3 gate, 4 gate if you want, or tech behind it, depending on when you grab second gas. Puzzle did get his second gas, while WhiteRa stayed on 1 gas, so it's more likely that WhiteRa would be aggressive.
Both these players are looking to play very, you know, defensive builds, so I don't think we'll actually see anything crazy off of this. Another thing to note is that both players know that each other are playing defensive builds. So we'll see if a particular style comes into it, because you can easily just say, well, because I know you're playing super defensive, I can try to be a little bit greedy and maybe get out of Twilight Council or Robotics Facility. But no, WhiteRa is going to go to 4 gate, while Puzzle goes to 3 gate. Interesting.
Yeah, and the 3 gate allows you to get, you know, more stalkers out, so you can ultimately control more of the map, or sorry, more of your half of the map. But the problem is that he's going to eventually have to deal with those Zealot Warpins that WhiteRa has. He has 2 Zealots in production. You can see WhiteRa really trying to get Warp Gate out in time. You can see the 3rd gate and 4th gate finishing up, so it's going to be 3 versus 4 gates. We have seen this held off before with Huang Xin on Tal'Darim Altar. He's going to immediately jump 2 Stalkers, and Puzzle getting a huge lead, sniping these Stalkers, and the probe. Phenomenal job, and Puzzle has a huge advantage, and all comes down to being able to get that high ground advantage. Look at that.
I'm not sure what WhiteRa was doing over here, warping in 3 Stalkers. He needs to be so careful, but I think maybe he was trying to cut off reinforcements or something, but that was really risky. And as you can see, that 1 probe that he went to go chase really costed him a lot. And off of this, I mean, WhiteRa is really far behind. Robotics Facility going up for Puzzle at this point. We have 4 gateways, and that's about it. No second gas.
Yeah.
All the advantage goes to Puzzle right now.
The lack of second gas really limits the options WhiteRa has, and so It's 4-gate or bust at this point for our Ukrainian Protoss. WhiteRa moving out. Now, Puzzle does have a proxy pylon of his own, just barely outside of the WhiteRa's vision range. But Puzzle should know what his opponent's up to. He saw Zealots being warped and he saw everything else, so he should at least have an understanding. That's why he's only got 2 sentries, and with that, he should be able to defend. Now that his Observer's out to come out, he's going to have great vision of everything.
Yeah, I think the Observer is really intelligent, actually. A lot of people would just spring for the Immortal, but this gives you the ability to actually make very smart force field decisions. There you are. He can obviously get more sentries as he needs with the excess gas that he has. That's the power of going just Zealots in this early game stage. You really have the agency. Going Stalkers is a little bit trickier because you want to allocate as much gas to that robotics facility as possible, and you want to do it efficiently. That's why this Observer is so powerful.
Puzzle has 5 sentries, which, of course, he did have an influx of gas because he's been warping in, you know, Stalkers, not exactly the most gas-intensive unit. And WhiteRa has an intimidating force, but these force fields really can section off a lot of the units. WhiteRa backing off for now, just content with trying to see if he can pay out force field. The Immortal comes out, which is going to be a huge difference maker. And with that Immortal being able to work on everything, I don't think WhiteRa can really break into it. Zealots are chasing the units, but with no answer really to the Immortal, unless the Zealots get some DPS in there. But WhiteRa doesn't manage to land some good hits. And Puzzle is going to kite back with a huge Stalker advantage, 55 supply to 36. GG. Puzzle takes game number 1 on Tal'Darim Altar after a very systematic game and clean execution.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I mean, 3-gate against 4-gate, you would normally think 4-gate does take the upper hand there. But with good positioning, able to take that watchtower. Obviously, WhiteRa was so far behind, and then losing the 2 Stalkers and the additional probe. Lose a lot of timing on, you know, the relevance of the 4-gate. And then he was able to close it home, just defend and win.
That's right. So pretty straightforward game. Thank you so much to Kingston HyperX, the people who provide SSD and memory for NASL Season 3. Check them out at kingston.com. We'll be back with game number 2 between Puzzle versus WhiteRa. Don't go anywhere. We'll see with the map choice as well as the game in just a second.